You know, what can I say? We have adorable cats on this show. Adorable cats. Like this guy right here. His name is Charlie. He's 12 years old, and he's adorable. Until he sits on the keyboard, mind you, or if he does, in fact, hit one of the buttons that takes the stream offline. You know, it's these given things that can happen. Also, right back there where that table of tarot cards are, you can expect to find Charlie stepping on that table, which is actually quite a blessing. All here on Immortal Type. See, Charlie just he's kind of like my buzzkill, you know. Just kidding, Charlie. Just kidding. You know, I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Things are happening here. Well, just want you to know that you're about to cross over a dimensional portal via a Smith Corona Clipper from 1949. And as you already know very well by now, this show features cats. Cats like Charlie right here, who is 12. So that makes him, if it's times 7, 84. Did I do that right, Charlie? Yeah, I did that right. Aside from Charlie being here, you may also witness the presence of two other cats, both brothers. They are brothers. Charlie is not a brother to these guys because they're young, from a different litter. However, they all kind of getting along now. And that was enough talk to get through the entire intro. Welcome to Immortal Type. Nice to see you here. Got a few things up my sleeve that I intend to show you. So I have to kind of be discreet in that which I reveal as we go. I would like there to be the delayed gratification and good feeling that comes from a surprise. Why not? Charlie, come here. Charlie is here. That's a surprise. Here, I'll show you. Oh. Charlie is always a great surprise. I mean that. He's amazing. What he tends to do is step on those tarot cards back there. When it happens to be one of those days where we have to get a lot done, and there's not much time left in the day, i.e. now, Charlie to the rescue, you know. He's here. Comes through in the clutch. So, welcome everyone who's here to view what's happening. What I'm going to be doing in just a moment is crossing a dimensional portal via a Smith Corona Clipper from 1949 with at least Charlie and possibly Cloud and Ash. Not confirmed yet at this point. Charlie may even bail, and you know, it's just how it is. He just might have those, what is it called before you get married? Cold feet? Cold paws. You know, it's not like we're getting married, Charlie. We're just crossing over an interdimensional portal that is allowing us to be able to do things like, I don't know, you know, you can just imagine. It might allow you to go into another time like 1949, the birth of this Smith Corona Clipper. See what comes from such adventures into such lands, so long as there is music playing. How's everyone doing tonight? Just asking to check and see. I wanted you to take a look at these cards yesterday. Really, really badly. I wanted you to look. This was what came out yesterday. So we're going to do some more today. The first thing we need to do, just about a page and a half in, which is awesome. So the first thing we need to do is get some new cards. So I want you to hang in there. I'm going to light some incense, some beautiful Fred salt incense. I got to show you this. This is incredible. Let me show you this. I swear it sounds like I'm doing a commercial, but the truth is I just love these products. Fred Salt incense right here. This is Magical Copal. And this is for me to get in touch with Mexico. Right here. And with my ancestors. We're going deep tonight. We're going deep. So this is absolutely amazing incense. Just take a look and see how beautiful these look up close. Let me just put this next to the camera so you can see how beautiful these sticks are. And I'm going to take one out and show you. It's difficult to see. Let me show you. Charlie's here. That's the kind of stuff we do here, okay? You gotta see this. This is just angelic stuff right here. That's the robe that I normally wear as my costume on this show. And the past couple days, Charlie's been coming in and, kneading his paws into everything, into this robe, and purring really, really loud. So, I decided that anytime he came in and he was like really meowing like he just did, the robe comes off, goes on the bed, and I have to bunch it up perfect so that it's comfortable for this guy. Because he deserves it. He steps on the tarot cards when I need him to. He helps us out here on this wonderful show. So today's grayscale, because we've gone interdimensional. Yes, we have. Between dimensions. So he's purring and kneading into it. He's just so happy. So, and I told the story about this. His old best friend is, not from the same litter, but practically his brother of a tomcat, Sullivan, used to knead his paws right on the same robe. So Charlie connects with that. I mean, he's purring so loud. Let's just try to get a little listen to this. I can't do it with the monitor there. Hold on. Let me try this again, if you can get a little listen. And we're talking that's a good distance away from the microphone, which is supposed to pick up what's right in front of it. By no means is it a shotgun microphone, and it's picking up this incredible cat. He's just great. He's just really, really awesome. And I wanted to have a conversation about that whole idea that I presented yesterday with a lot of repetition, which was this whole idea of us thinking and then having our reality become perhaps aligned with that thought and what that really means. That it's not just for the good things in life. So I was reading U.S. Anderson today, 3 Magic Words. I'll show you the book. So I was reading, hang on a sec. It's a little different the way I'm using things today. I was reading this book, and, I may as well just read it to you. Oops. Remove before flight, the bookmark. Upgraded to bookmark today, which is an upgrade as far as I'm concerned. if it sits in this book. This book is amazing. Talks about good versus evil and where it comes from and what it is. It says here, now it must be thoroughly understood that we are not denying the existence of evil. We are simply denying the reality of evil, naming it illusion, as it surely is. No great man or woman has ever lived who has not risen above circumstance, literally denying the reality of lack, limitation, illness, poverty, and inferiority. If you allow yourself to be a product of circumstance, then each encounter you make with evil will convince you of the reality of evil, and further evil will be created in your experience. Moreover, you will make despair and fear and unhappiness your constant companions. Don't think for a single minute that circumstance makes the man or the woman. The man or woman makes the circumstance. Through the great law of attraction, all things come to him or her who believes in them, and every circumstance of your life inevitably has been attracted to you by your own beliefs. You are literally a product of your own thought. You are what you think, only that, nothing more. You must right now convince yourself that evil is an effect, not a cause. Evil is the result of erroneous thought conception. Erroneous thought conception is the cause of evil. Evil is a circumstance, and you, as a divine part of the universal intelligence, need never be the result of circumstance. You create the circumstance. Only when you believe circumstance to be greater than you are will you allow it to continue to develop evil in your experience. And so it goes on, and it explains that evil effectively is error. Error in life, like trying to send something out to the program that comes back delivering an error, so it's not aligning you with that which is your true happiness, your wish fulfillment. That's error. And the other side of this is truth. And truth, at least the finding of it, requires error. So it's as above, so below. You must have error and the admittance of that in order to find truth, or else you're just lying to yourself and you're not growing. So this is what we're talking about. The idea of no longer needing to lie to yourself because there's no one to impress. The universe, unfortunately, is not thinking about what kind of personality you have. It's just simply monitoring your thoughts and manifesting things as a result of them. So, at least the universe as I recognize it right now, as I'm seeing it right now, is a universe that's basically just listening to that which is getting thrown out there and responding in turn by manifesting the things that are most important to the message sender. So that's life. So once you learn that, you can start to get a pretty decent grasp on your manifestations. Not all of them are going to be exactly the way you imagine them. I think that's better, personally, because I like surprises, and it makes life exciting. And when I say it makes life exciting, it keeps someone in a mud body continuously taking leaps of faith. It keeps them in that mindset to take leaps of faith in the things that you do that are creative. This thing, what this is an evolution of my entire life and what I've been interested in bringing it to light through a number of different mediums that are here around us. I call this the spaceship, the nave espacial. And the nave espacial exists because I'm still a child. Inside, I wish for those to connect with that. And when I say those, you're the other souls that are sending out seeds of thought every single day out to the universe. You're sending your own seeds. I would wish not compete with yours. You know, the only ones that I compete with are the ones that interfere with my message to the Creator, which is I wish for peace, prosperity, happiness for everyone, to procure this through service to others, to provide a means to heal. And to heal is to recognize that you're perfect. and returning to that state through a mending process. It could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be both. It could be spiritual. It could be a number of things. Whatever it is to you, just know that here you have a welcome home, and you won't feel judged because even if you do, you're mistaken. I am to you, through your experience, nothing more than a manifestation of your thoughts and feelings through your life that have mixed and blended with others, mine included. We are effectively weaving this tapestry where we see ourselves in motion. And that whole thing, the motion of who we are and the movement, that's just the magic of the Creator. And I believe that we have limited ourselves in human bodies for a reason not to know the real truth behind how that works. It's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to create things by sending out images and intentions that we believe are connected to the highest good of everyone. So the way to really be fail-proof is to do this where you're creating by yourself and you offer a channel for which others can tune in. You see, I spoke about this today and I find it rather interesting. We have some different perspectives coming in today. I wanted it to be a leap to the past where you could listen to this and perhaps think, I wonder what this time this came from. I wonder in what moment this actually happened, if not now, if not happening right now. And by looking at the cards, we are able to take a journey. The original tarot cards were all black and white. And the individual that received a deck kept that deck for their life, and it became their companion. That individual that received the deck would also paint the cards over time in the way that they saw it making most sense. So this is just one way of seeing the cards. If you're to see the cards delivered to you in color, here you have the opportunity to fill in the blanks as you need for your own life. So you can decide what colors mean to you. And if it's easier to follow books that speak about chakras and their colors, something that you already have a visualization of, that's great because you've already got some work done on this big canvas that you're going to need to fill up with a bunch of beautiful things. It says this message that's universal to you. Look at yesterday, the tower, right there. And what I see by looking at this now, it's really interesting. If you look at the hermit versus the tower, or juxtaposed with the tower, you'll see the similarities. Supposedly the light from the hermit's lantern is what destroys this tower, sends the individual into a huge spiral of change. It's instantaneous, it's impacting, life-changing. This is not a trivial situation. And anytime we see the twos, like the Two of Swords, you can expect there to be some form of thought or contemplation going on. Whatever it is, it's not long lasting because we have complete balance with the sun and the moon. You see how it presents itself in the tarot at times. It's just remarkable to me. The end of this immediate past is the Emperor, which says this is the time for recognition for your efforts. The Ten of Swords was drawn in verse yesterday, so it was left as it was. It actually is more fortunate, in what I've read, to have this card be inverse than upright. So the Ten of Swords remains where it was. It's interesting because any 10 in the tarot deck, it represents an ending of a cycle. So whatever's happening, there's a great ending, and there will be justice. You see it in the center. There's no other word to explain it, no other word that's needed. It's right in the center of this reading. It's a major arcana, and it represents karma in a number of ways. So we have a lot of forces that are divinely aligned in this reading from yesterday. It's profound. We're going to do more of that. I can't get talking for too long because we have 10 o'clock Eastern here and a need for 10 pages to get done before midnight. So it's better to get these things done. However, it's important for you to see these cards from yesterday because they are so profound. And it's a universal message for those who are looking to build story out of images in their life and to challenge their imagination and to dive in that way. As you see the Knight of Swords right next to Justice, delivering a message and arriving in a certain area, which is to say, I have a message. The High Priestess, it's a message from yourself. This is a message that states how you are, in effect, saving yourself, which is a good thing. No better person than yourself to save you. Shows that you are able to get over very difficult challenges and pick yourself back up and be on your way with little to no issue. And so, as the magical copal burns and you see this smoke rising up, think of it as you're kind of in that slow burn now. You've made it past the point where you needed to have this lit and go. It's on its way, and it shall combust slow until it reaches its destination. That's where you are. However, the Knight of Swords would beg to differ and say it's time for immediate change. The King of Wands is there on the far bottom left. Third row, and this is speaking about the now for us. The King of Wands is adorned by this staff that, if it were to be plunged into the earth, would immediately start growing. You see how there's already sprouts coming out of that wand. The king is also adorned with specific symbolism in his robe. So these king's robes, the king's robes have symbolism of the lizard and the lion. And so this is someone who is very much in tune with that which they bring in their life. They know why, and they know how, and they know the system, and it works. And sometimes it requires getting out there and showing your strength. You see this. This strength can be a leap of faith, which leaves you with a choice between two things that will be equally prosperous. So it doesn't really matter how you choose, because both will lead to very favorable outcomes, says the end of this reading. Will you look at that Five of Swords to the right of the King of Wands in the bottom row? And what I'm usually told with this card is that it's some form of betrayal, which is very funny now that I read the Marseille deck description. It's about winning against an opponent that appears to be stronger. You end up winning and surprising someone or many. And look at that center row all the way through. You have major arcana, the sun, justice, strength. If you're looking at a timeline and you want to know if things shall be auspicious moving forward, get your thoughts in gear and look forward to some incredible blessings. Because the sun represents healing. The healing is already occurring. So just know that. Justice is for whatever you believe could not be healed. Now it is, and it's actually a process that you're doing internally from the inside out by forgiving yourself. Forgiveness is a torture. It's an error. I mean, not forgiveness. What I'm saying is the lack of forgiveness to yourself is an error. You should just let go of any guilt. Guilt is an error. That was another thing that was said here in 3 magic words. So remember, an error is you're trying to put some code into the system for it to function and run some form of application that serves your life. If it comes back with an error, when you put so much work into the code, perhaps you lost it, who knows? But you put it in there, and it came back with an error, and now you have to start over again. This here says you cannot stop. You must be strong. If you are, as the King of Wands, that really has nothing to lose, and that's why he's in that position. He's in a position of power because it was chosen for him, not one that he wanted. It's kind of the Jon Snow thing. He's in that position from Game of Thrones. He's in that position of power, really not. Oh my God, Ash. Oh, Ash. Hello, lovey. What a good cat. This is incredible. I got to show you this guy right here. What a cat. Did you see that? Did you see that? He just jumped right up on the cards and blessed them. I mean, they're all over the place now, but they're still blessed. And we're on the Fool right now. Actually, they're not messed up at all. We're on the Fool. And the last card, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Coins, are the only ones that moved. And we were literally on that card talking about the Fool, which represents a leap of faith. So the King of Wands gives you the strength to go up against an adversary that is much bigger, stronger than you. You overcome the enemy by some means, which is a surprise. You surprise yourself. And it leads to strength and recognition after you take a leap of faith, in which you will be left with a choice that you can choose. Both of them are equally as prosperous and enjoyable and aligned with your wish fulfillment. And that cycle will start over again until you get it right, starting with whatever life change it is to spin your life around and make you feel like you have to start making some changes. That's the cycle right now with this reading from yesterday. And the overseeing card is just so beautiful. It's on the right. It's I am that I am. We couldn't ask for a more direct answer to how you need to be looking at things. Offer yourself love through I am love, I am to yourself. Offer it while breathing deep to saturate your body with oxygen, because all of our bodies are starting with oxygen, not by choice. So we have to get it back. As you do that, focus on I am love, I am. And when you feel finally at a place where you can relax and say, I feel a difference from between where I began and where I was versus now, it's noticeable, it's sustained, I feel good. That's when you say, I am that. I am. Because you're recognizing that you are that. You are that accomplishment. You are that person that took the time, instead of breaking down, to work through things and breathe through it, exercise through it if you need to. However you need to get through it, you did. And you came to terms with something that you never did before. And so that's what you are. You are that turning of a new leaf. That's what you are. And so we're doing that now. I feel the entire world, and I say this broadly, but I feel it. I feel the entire world is shifting in the direction of healing. And I couldn't be happier. I couldn't feel more content, happy for the feeling that comes to me when I'm thinking about the world now. Because there were times when boundaries were crossed by everyone during this pandemic, and we had to learn a lot about listening to others. A lot of us got worse. So before we finalize a bad habit for the rest of our lives, I say, why don't we work through these things by talking about them and being honest with each other? As we are honest with each other, we can get to a point of accordance where these cards benefit everyone. These cards benefit everyone. And that we take that leap of faith every day. You know, what a blessing to have Ash the cat come in here and step on those two cards. And strength, of course. They're just beautiful souls, and they're deeply connected to the spiritual, and they come in when we're doing this work, and they present themselves, not to be shooed away, not to be misunderstood, but to be listened to. Because they're creatures that aren't around for a long time, and they take good damn care of the house. And beyond that, they're adorably cute and really friendly. So it's like all of the above makes them so cherishable. And that's what they need to be, cherished and loved. And Charlie's pretty content, as am I. We're happy. We're happy. And I'm so happy with this. So the Fool is the leap of faith. It's the zero. You're going through the circle. You're jumping through it. You're like Evel Knievel. You're launching. You know, you can see there's the cliff, and the Fool is about to leap off of it without even knowing. The good news is the Fool always makes it to the bottom or wherever they're supposed to land. And in this particular case, shall be presented with a choice that leads to happiness. And they're both really decent choices. At the bottom of the deck, we had the Ace of Wands. That came after Charlie knocked some cards off of the table. And the Ace of Wands, any wand has to do with manifestation. And so we see the blueprint is clear. The Ace is here to say, okay, let's just try to, make some boundaries with this that are slight, just so we can have form. But aside from that, plant whatever you want in the mind of this new creation. And that's what the Ace says. The Ace of Swords. It's pretty sweet. Nice thing to have if the beginning of all this is just sudden life change with the Tower. It's a nice thing to have that Ace of Wands. It's the ace in the hole. Literally, with a leap of faith. It's all there. It's all here. The story is here in the Tarot. So I started doing this when I was going live with you folks over on Twitch. Now I'm here on YouTube. And it's really beautiful to see how we can dive into story in a different way. And as I said, we've got about 1 hour and 45 minutes to get another 8.5 pages done. And get those posted up on immortaltype.com, which means no more dilly-dallying on my end. I got to get some pages done. That's what I'm going to do. So let's get some music going. Now's a good time to go and refresh your beverages. If it's nighttime like it is here, might be a good time to get some tea. I have mine. I'm ready to go. Just about. I'm going to get a water refresher, but we'll be back in just a short moment. And when we get back here, it's going to be all writing until the writing's done. And then when the writing's done, a little more talk, and we'll say goodnight and see each other very soon. Now, I'm just going to check in with chat and see what's going on here. Nothing in chat. If you have any questions as we go, feel free to ask. Welcome to Immortal Type. Thanks for being here. And we shall be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, I'm gonna head on over to the tarot cards now. So we get some interesting things going on here, including the sound of a microphone that I'm going to put on the table now. Okay, so right off the bat, we have the Three of Swords that fell out, followed by the Six of Cups. Here comes the Five of Swords again, showing face, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles followed by a major arcana with Death. Represents a new beginning. So whatever's going on here, the wish has already been put in motion for fulfillment. You won against greater opposition, and it was an upset. You were victorious. To some, it seemed like it couldn't have been possible, but you did it. The Knight of Wands comes in present moment, and this is the manifesting energy. It's also tied to fire. It's showing this steady burn. And that alone, just the steady burn of making sure that you consistently meet your goals every day, leads to the Nine of Coins. It's the next card on the right. And this Nine of Coins is wish fulfillment, success, prosperity. It's very clear. And look at how the Hermit is sending the light that destroyed the tower, sending the light over to the Nine of Pentacles. It's also going into the Knight's Wand. It's a very powerful light. Who knows? It could travel all the way around the world and come back and destroy the tower at the end. Look at this. The Page of Swords isn't even paying attention to it, because this event doesn't have to do with you. This what that we were imagining. Your life change. Your life change moment already happened. This is for someone else, some apparition of your past or someone that's important to you now. Manifesting, could be. Bottom line is, don't get yourself too caught up in it. Because this is not a time to be flooded with emotions. This is a time for celebration. You had a very big victory. And I don't think you perhaps have noticed that yet, but there's been a very big victory. In some way, you need to recognize that in yourself. Find it and recognize it and enjoy it. This is the time of year for enjoyment. If there ever is a time of year for that, it should always be happening. It shouldn't just be a day where your wishes are fulfilled. It shouldn't be that way. And it wasn't. Saturnalia specifically had a play on that. The senators and those of different various powerful positions, they would switch their roles. And this would happen in Rome. Switch roles. With the downtrodden, the poor, and the slaves, switch roles. For a day, or for a week, whatever it was. I think it was a week. Leading up to the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. And so, in a way, it's kind of a joke. It shouldn't be that way every day, which is to say, listen, the rich chose their destiny on the same table that was shared with the poor. In other words, it was a personal decision made by thought, combined with circumstance as a result of multiple lives and decisions made. You land where you are to overcome it. That's the idea, to overcome whatever challenge is, no matter what cost. You do it for yourself so that you understand you can do it. And that's what we have going on here. And that Ten of Swords, when it's upright, I'll read it to you. It's pretty interesting. According to Marseille, it's very interesting. It says exhaustion, a complex situation with many conflicting interests. A long battle without a clear outcome. Need to find an ally who will attack the problem from a different direction. And so it leads to this emotional message. It seems like it's being handed to the wrong person. Look at the Page of Cups, trying to deliver a message that's a day late, dollar short. This situation has already reached the point where it can no longer be recovered. King of Cups is looking in the other direction, saying, I've got my stability here. I'm not really thinking about anyone else's right now. I'm looking out there and I'm seeing the Three of Swords. Or maybe he's looking at the Queen of Swords. Who knows? The Queen of Swords is not looking at the King of Cups. I can tell you that much. Because Cups is all about emotions and the Swords are all about intellect. They don't necessarily blend well. Opposites attract, yes. However, it doesn't necessarily blend well in a natural state. But we have this interesting card overlooking everything tonight. Mercury. And if there's anything that can balance Ida and Pingala, it's this card right here. Which is to say, anything is possible based on thought. And once again, these are just things you're seeing manifest in the external as a result of your life's decisions and the decisions made by others. Now it's time for pages to get done. And by the way, if you ever wanted to know what a perfect example of an incense stick is, just take a look at that on the left-hand side. You see how that's a steady stream of smoke going straight up in the air? A tight, concentrated line? That's the sign of a perfectly made and dried incense stick. It's extremely difficult to do. I can tell you, having failed many times, very difficult to do until it's gotten right. One of the best ways the most surefire way to do it right is to go out and find your resin in a local park at the bottom of a tree where it's bled and it didn't need it, it was excess, so you're not hurting the tree from healing. And then you take that home and you let that dry, and you get a pestle and mortar and break it down with other ingredients that will allow this to burn, and make your own. Or instead of going through the trouble, you just go and get yourself some from Flipside.com. I plug Fred's stuff all the time because I use it all the time. This isn't a paid advertisement. When I tell you I miss Mexico, this is one of the big reasons. Copal. You're not going to find a more amazing scent than copal resin when it's natural. This is the best version of a copal incense stick I've ever experienced, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot because I've had the best from Mexico. Anyway, you gotta head on over to fredsol.com. Check out what they have there. I also recommend the ancient frankincense. That's just the sweet frankincense blend. Good stuff. It's all amazing. Anyway, it's meant for you to enjoy, right? This is looking pretty bright. When I get close to it, we'll see if the light changes. I just need a minute. I'll be right back. We'll get started in just a second.
I'm lost in the atmosphere, I get lost in the atmosphere. The atmosphere.
Okay, that was pretty wild. I made that by the skin of my teeth. As far as the promise went in this writing, which was pretty crazy if you were reading along as we went. Some pretty wild stuff. Just made it by a few moments. The promise that was going on here in the book was that by 11:30 there would be this double or nothing bet that 10 pages would be done by 11:30 instead of midnight. And it was made between two that were kind of in on it, and Alden, obviously being the writer of this, knew he could do it, and he did it by seconds, in that we finished 10 pages by 11:30. And it got done, which is really cool. I find that exciting. Just get it done in that way, and to know that it was done, and it was this type of exciting race to the finish. We had the typewriter moving along, which I imagine must be fun. I can't wait to go back and look at this, and that it's in grayscale. Now that it's in grayscale, we can see some cool stuff. I can't wait. And of course, the tarot cards coming through as they always do. in such an amazing storytelling way. So we got these last 5 pages before midnight that could be done. However, we're moving along here. Already on book 40 and got the rest of the month to work with. No, not page 40. We're on page 27. So it's still good. Already wrapped 1 book this month. So I'm feeling good. Feeling good about this. And it's a late night. However, it was definitely worth the work that was put in today to try to make some changes and expand the way that the stream works. And part of that is going to be what follows here. I'm going to scan these pages now, and we can take a look at them in color. I thought this would be a nice change to see things written in a certain way today on camera, only to find that they look much different when scanned and looked at that way. So, okay, we'll start with the scanning now. Let's bring this over so you can get a look. Continue off from where we were yesterday. And let's see here. Yeah. Okay, very good. This is from yesterday, so we're going to start a new file. And you'll see things scan. Now, there we go. Charlie was here right at the moment that I was finishing. He was yelling about it. He did jump in my lap, actually, as I was just finishing page 10 with seconds to go on the clock. He was putting me to the test, and I better give this guy a little treat and some real huggies. I'm going to put on my robe and give him some snuggies just to thank him. Such a good guy. 10 pages. Here we go. Just so you can see, I went to 27 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the joke was at the end, listen, we can get through this faster if we do some dialogue. It's pretty funny. And so the promise was, okay, we're going to do some dialogue and we'll make it, So I can do that. Good. So how are you doing? I'm doing great. How are you? That kind of thing. And move through a few pages to cruise through it fast when there's a quick deadline that has to be done. We started writing, I don't know, it was around 10:48, 10:50 in the evening. We'd finished 10 pages in less than an hour. It feels good. Feels good. It's kind of insanity, but it feels good. Anyway, this is what the pages look like. So these are going to get saved now, and you won't be able to see that. However, that's okay. Some things need to be left as surprises. That's what I was talking about today. Got to leave some surprises. Bit of delayed gratification. But how about these cards today, huh? How about these tarot cards today? Got the Hermit right there in the center. Not many major arcana. In fact, only 2. Sorry, I'm stand corrected. 3. We have Death, the Hermit, and the Tower. Talk about some pretty powerful ones. Death represents a new beginning. Look at how that Ace of Pentacles is upside down. It's kind of doing its own Wheel of Fortune. Knight of Wands comes in and says, whatever you want, and there it is. 9 of Coins, right there in the middle, just before the Hermit. Hermit shining light upon that situation. Page of Swords also not paying any mind to the Tower that's there, falling at its own demise. It has to do with some factor outside of you that's already manifest. That's happening right now. Someone feels like they're unable to get through, and there's a collaborative effort that occurs that leads to a great victory. And that's going on in the very near future, if not already happening now. someone's losing and someone's winning. That's really what this message is. And so it's you. And you got to find some balance between winning and losing. And so if you feel like you've been working really hard and trying to get that win, good news is you got the Nine of Pentacles working with you right now. And that is very powerful. And even though the Tower is here, it says this is significant life change, look at what follows. It's a story that really doesn't have to do with you so much as it has to do with some phantom of the past. So you can kind of let all of that do its own thing while you focus on creation. That's the message. It's a universal one for everyone. As the incense comes into its final little burn down, we had a good chance to dive into the Smith Corona today. I hope you enjoyed it. And we got to see a little bit of Charlie, which is good. He's off doing his thing. And now we're going to snuggle together, which is to say, thanks for being here this evening, for hanging out and being a part of this. Really grateful to you. It's been fun. It's been really fun. So I'm going to sign off now and say thank you and good night to all those that tuned in. For those who are coming by here for the first time, thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed what was going on. This is typing books live on a typewriter, no repeated pages. We're talking about raw writing, no editing. And so you see, that's just called an error. And what does an error do? We talked about this today. It guides you towards finding the truth. So you can't knock an error. So they're really designed for us to be able to move quickly through life. What better way than to make errors with someone else? That's what I say. A little bit of that in the writing today. Anyway, got this saved now. I'm going to be posting this on Immortal Type. I've got only 21 minutes to get this done before midnight, so we're going to end the stream now. Thanks to all that tuned in this evening. Like I said, we had a really beautiful tarot reading and some very interesting cards worth going back and looking at just to enjoy. And what I'm going to do is take a look at how this looked with the typing of the typewriter. And so just to do something kind of ceremonial in that, right, I'm going to throw in a page and, well, you'll see. So just a little note from me to you to say thank you for being here, tuning in this evening. And I hope to see you very soon. Please come stop by anytime. Have a wonderful evening. And this has been quite a show. Had a really good time today. And you can expect to see more of this book writing tomorrow. We wrapped this fast. We got 10 pages done in 2 hours and 16 minutes. And It felt damn good, I must say. Felt pretty damn good to wrap that many pages in such a short period of time. So please do share, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And be sure to come by and check things out on immortaltype.com. That's what we were looking at before here. These pages right here from today. These are the typewritten pages from today, which were written in black and white. You now get to see them in full color display on immortaltype.com. These are one take, raw writing, no edits, no repeats, just beginning to end, no crumpled pages. So you get all of this on immortaltype.com. Thanks for tuning in. It's been great to see you. And that's going to be it for the stream this evening. So be well, hang in there, and remember, you are what you eat in this life. You are what you think about. May all your wishes be fulfilled, knowing that you are perfect, a divine being, which means give yourself the relief of knowing that guilt is an error you should never feel like you are guilty of anything. Release yourself of those burdens, and release yourself of the burdens of whatever else may be troubling you, because it's error. It is not love. From love comes truth, the real feeling that you deserve to have every day of your life from this moment on. I'm sending love to you. Be well, and we'll talk soon.